Hello, in this video we are going to be talking about solving inequalities in context. So that means we're going to be doing word problems with inequalities. This first example says put each expression below the symbol that it translates to in an equation or inequality. So if we look at this first term is equals. If we ever see the word equals in a word problems, that will mean that we have an equation. And so that's going to go under the equal sign. Is at most. That means I cannot have more than that. So if I say that, a pen is at most $2, that means the maximum cost of the pen is $2. So everything would be lower than that. So is at most would be under less than or equal to. In an inequality word problem, if you see the phrase is greater than, and it has to have the is in front of it, so is greater than, then you would have the greater than symbol. If you see the phrase is less than, then that would mean that you would be using the less than symbol. If it says that, something costs $5, then that means it equals $5. So costs would be underneath the equal sign. Is less than or equal to would be under the less than or equal to symbol. If a problem just says is, like the sum is 15, then that means equals. Same thing for weighs. If something weighs 6 pounds, then it equals 6 pounds. Is greater than or equal to would go under the greater than or equal to symbol. Is no more than. That soda is no more than $1.50 means the highest that it could possibly be is $1.50. And so we would actually put that under the less than or equal to symbol. Is at least. So if I say, that tablet is at least $150, then that would be greater than or equal to. The minimum cost would be $150. So is at least. And you see this one a lot in word problems. Is not less than. The tickets to that concert is not less than $50. That would mean $50 is the minimum amount, and it could go up from there. So that would also be greater than or equal to. Inequalities. An inequality is formed when an inequality symbol, such as less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, is placed between two expressions. Example 1. Write an inequality for the written expression, then solve. The sum of x and 16 is less than 32. The sum means that I'm adding. The sum of x and 16, that means I have x plus 16. Is means equals, just like how we wrote above. Oops, I have to read the whole sentence, don't I? Is less than. Right? Is less than means that we have the less than symbol, 32. So is less than means that we're using the less than sign. So now we have the inequality x plus 16 is less than 32. And we want to solve this inequality. To undo addition, I'll do subtraction. And so I'll have x is less than 16. And this would be my solution. They didn't ask me to graph it, so I don't need to worry about graphing it. For example 2, the quotient of x and 16 is greater than or equal to 32. Quotient means that you're dividing. Whatever comes first is your numerator, and whatever comes second is your denominator. So I'm going to have x divided by 16 is greater than or equal to. Means that I'm using this symbol here, 32. So this is the inequality that we want to solve. I want to get x alone. X is being divided by 16. To undo division, I'll do multiplication. And that will give me x is greater than or equal to. And let's see if my calculator will turn on. There we go. 32 times 16 is 512. So this would be my solution set. On the next page, it says write an equation or an inequality that models the following situations and state what x is. So on this first example, it says you are buying a new printer and keyboard for your computer. You cannot spend over $150. The printer you want costs $80. Write an equation or inequality that describes the most you can spend on a keyboard. The first thing that this is asking us, is this an equation or is it an inequality? The key word that tells me, or the key phrase I should say, that tells me that this is an inequality is right here. You cannot spend over $150. That tells me that I can spend $150, but I don't have to spend $150. I could spend less than $150. So this is an inequality. So my inequality would be the cost of my printer plus the cost of my keyboard. And if the most I can spend is $150, then my symbol would be less than or equal to $150. I know that the printer costs $80. I don't know what the keyboard costs, so I'm going to let that be X, and that would be less than or equal to $150. So here, X would be the cost of the keyboard. And so my inequality is 80 plus X is less than or equal to 150. We do not have to solve this. They just wanted to write the inequality that goes with it. Let's look at the next example. You are making beaded bracelets for your friends. You want to use 30 beads for each bracelet, and you have a total of 240 beads in all. Let X be the number of bracelets. So you want to use exactly 30 beads. It doesn't say at most, doesn't say at least. It says you want to use 30. So this is going to be an equation. So if I am going to use 30 beads per bracelet, and X is the number of bracelets, and I have 240 beads in all, this would be the equation that I could use to figure out how many bracelets I could make. For the next example, you are budgeting money to buy AirPods that cost at least $159, including tax. If you save $20 per month, after how many months can you purchase the AirPods? The key phrase in this word problem is at least. That tells me that this is an inequality. So if I know that it is at least $159, this is going to be greater than or equal to $159. If you're saving $20 per month, then I can do 20x is greater than or equal to 159. Here, X would represent the number of months that you need to save to be able to get to $159 at least. On this last example, Brody has $2 more than Trevor. Together, they have $26. Write an equation or inequality that will help you find how much money each person has. This is going to be an equation because they have $26. They don't have at least $26. They don't have at most $26. They have exactly $26. So the amount that Brody has plus the amount that Trevor has is going to equal my total. So I don't know how much Trevor has, so I'm going to let X represent the amount of money that Trevor has. Brody has $2 more than Trevor. So I'll take Trevor's amount and I'll add 2. And my total is $26. Well, here I have like terms. X plus X is 2X. So 2X plus 2 equals 26. That would be the equation that I would use to solve this.